Childlike wonder is one of those aspects of experience that we really want. We want to regain it. We think back on those times in our lives when we had access to that wonder, that awe, and at the same time, we fear it. We avoid it. I want to just offer the possibility of investigating what it is we both love and fear about awe, because it's a prominent component or prominent aspect of this clarity that is found beyond the illusions of duality, the illusions of form, the illusions of time and space. This feeling of wonder, or it's really more than a feeling, it's more fundamental than a feeling, but this wonder that is intrinsic to experience. It's so juicy, so poignant, and so enjoyable, and yet it requires us to really be willing to be unguarded, to be raw, to continue to step into the unknown again and again. The moment we try to reformulate a self, the moment we try to reformulate a self apart, the moment we try to reformulate a way of being or an inner world that allows us to escape from this immediate experience, then the wonder seems far away, seems not existent, seems or is just overlooked. And then strangely, we'll often chase that wonder, but we'll chase it not by just becoming unguarded again, by really opening the senses and just seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting what is really here. But we'll chase it through a mental surrogate. We'll chase it through the reactivity of aversion and desire. We'll chase it through the illusion of control. So I think control really is the key here. The illusion of control, the illusion of there being an agent apart from experience that is somehow, it's not even that it feels like it's in control all the time, because it feels sort of like it's out of control all the time, but it feels like it has the promise of control. So we chase promises, we chase illusions, and in doing so, we may convince ourselves we're going to find that wonder again, or find that sweetness. But we overlook and forget that the sweetness and wonder is really already here. It just requires us to feel without filters. It requires us to hear without filters. It requires us to see without filters. You could say see without eyes, to hear without ears, and to feel without skin, hands, feet. Feel without a body. What does it mean to feel without a body? What does it mean to hear without ears? What does it mean to see without eyes, without a head? Well, it means a sort of total helplessness, although this helplessness doesn't have to come with fear and a recoil. It's simply being unguarded. It's simply being disarmored. And then the wonder is right here. The wonder is in the unguardedness. The wonder is in the lack of an armor. The wonder, even initially, will be in the fear, even in the hesitation. or frustration. So this is why when we talk about self-inquiry or some kind of one-pointed process, and inevitably someone will say, listening to that just causes frustration in me. And then I'll say, the frustration is the entry point. It's not wrong. Frustration isn't an indicator that you're doing something wrong. It's simply the entry point appearing for you. The portal literally appears right in front of you as frustration or as even confusion, disorientation sometimes. That is the entry point when we really open to it. When we really open to any of those experiences, then we do immediately tune to that wonder, that unknown. So it's such a funny thing because sometimes it feels like it's the last thing in the world we want is the unknown. Other times it feels like we won the lottery. And the inflection point is the separate self. This is why ultimately it comes down to seeing these fundamental obstructions, duality and the illusion of self apart, a discrete self, seeing that none of these constructs contain a self structure, thought, sensation, form, shape, color, scenery, sound, movement, stillness. All of these experiences can be fully embraced, perhaps, realized. I'll say realized. They can be fully realized with no self-apparatus, with no sense of agency or control required. So at first it feels like we're giving something up to give up control or to give up the sense of agency, but ultimately it's seen that the fear of giving up something that never existed is a sort of trick we play on ourselves to cause ourselves to suffer. Underneath it, you will find where no suffering has ever existed. And there is just a vast field of wonder.